Okay, good morning, class. Welcome to our today's lecture, and we are going to talk about gases exchange in living organisms. In the introduction, we define the gases exchange. Gases exchange is the biological process through which organisms exchange oxygen, carbon dioxide with their environment. This is the process where oxygen and carbon dioxide are being exchanged to the environment. This exchange supports the vital processes such as respiration, which generates energy, and in plants, photosynthesis, which produces food. The process ensures that life-sustaining reactions in both plants and animals can occur efficiently. Examples, we have how humans inhale oxygen from their cellular respiration, exhale carbon dioxide as a byproduct. Similarly, the plants take in carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and release oxygen as a byproduct. So we are going to look at the site. We are going to look at the site for the gases exchange in organisms. We will start with the animals. In animals, it is found in the mammals, birds, reptiles, whereby the lungs are the primary site for oxygen intake and carbon dioxide release. In fish, we have the gills. The presence of the gills is used by aquatic animals like the fish extract oxygen in they extract oxygen in dissolved water. So oxygen is found, like the oxygen is found in water, so they absorb. In humans and amphibians, some amphibians and earthworms rely on their moist skin for gases exchange. Okay, you can go to plants. Under plants, we discuss about the stomata, which is a microscopic opening on the surface of the leaf and stem, primarily on the lower epidermis. In land cells, we have the small spores on the stem and bark of food plants. We have the root hairs, which facilitate gases exchange in the soil, especially for underground respiration. The presence of the gas in the root hairs facilitated the process of gases exchange. So we are going to look at the basics principle for gases exchange. Under this process of gases exchange, we are going to look at the diffusion. Gases exchange rely on diffusion, where gases move from areas of high concentration to areas of low concentration. Example is the oxygen in air diffused in plant stomata, while carbon dioxide diffuses out. Requirements for efficiency. We have the concentration gradient. It should be a moist surface. It should be a thin membrane, and also it should be a large surface area. These are the factors that facilitate gaseous exchange. We are going to look details at the concentration gradient. Under concentration gradient, we are going to look that gases naturally flow down their gradient, like oxygen move from atmosphere into lungs. Under these moist surfaces, we have gases dissolve in moist before diffusing so rapidly. Surface must remain wet. Under the thin membranes, we can discuss it that a thin barrier minimizes the distance gases must travel, speeding up diffusion. Under the large surface area, we have maximizes the amount of gases exchanged per unit time. Yes. So we are going to look at the importance of plants. Under the importance of plants, we have support for respiration. Carbon dioxide is a raw material for photosynthesis, which produces glucose and oxygen, drives respiration. Oxygen intakes allow plants to break down glucose for energy. Under the atmospheric regulation, we have plants maintain their balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide, contributing to a stable environment. We are now going to look at the importance of gases exchange in plants. Under the primary size, we have stomata. Under the stomata, we have the structures of the stomata. We are going to describe as the structure of the stomata. Stomata are tiny openings on the lips epidermis controlled by the gut cell. Most stomata are found underside of lips to reduce water loss. And the function of the gut cells also enhance the opening and closing of the stomata. The gut cells are turgid. By turgidity means they are full of water. They open the stomata, allowing gases exchange. So when the walls of the stomata gains water, they become turgid, and in the process they open up. If they lose water, they close them up to facilitate the gases exchange. When the gut cell are when they lose water, they close the stomata to conserve water. Why the stomata matters? They are the gateways for entering and leaving the plant. Without them, photosynthesis, respiration becomes impossible. Without the exchange of water, where there is the turgidity of the gut cells. So we are going to look at the importance of gases exchange in stomata. Number one is photosynthesis. Plants take in carbon dioxide through the stomata. The carbon dioxide combined with water in the chloroplast during photosynthesis, and in this process producing glucose and oxygen. The oxygen is released to the atmosphere as a byproduct. Then carbon dioxide is used by the plants to produce that glucose. We are going to look at the respiration. Under respiration, we say that oxygen enters through the stomata and is used to break down glucose during aerobic respiration. The process releases energy in form of ATP, which the plant uses for growth, reproduction, and other metabolic activities. Carbon dioxide produced during respiration exists through the stomata. We have water regulation. Under water regulation, we are going to look at the transpiration as a process. Under transpiration, we say that this transpiration process, water vapor escapes through the stomata. So the stomata becomes a gateway for the escape of water vapor into the atmosphere. During transpiration, water vapor escapes through the stomata. This process helps the plants to cool down, draw nutrients from the roots, and maintain target pressure. We are going to look at the condition affecting gases exchange. Under this condition, we have light intensity, stomata open in the presence of light, enabling gases exchange during the day when photosynthesis occurs. Availability of water. In dry conditions, the gas cell lose water, become turgor, causing the stomata to close, reducing gases exchange to conserve water. We are going to look at the carbon dioxide concentration, how it affects. We say that high concentration of carbon dioxide level in the environment can slow the rate of opening of the stomata. The release of carbon dioxide by plants. Release of carbon dioxide by plants, we are going to discuss about during respiration. Under this process of respiration, we say that plants continuously, even at night when photosynthesis stops. During respiration, glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen to produce energy. So the glucose that is being formed during the daytime is now broken down in the presence of oxygen to produce energy. The carbon dioxide and water are byproducts. So carbon dioxide and water now becomes the byproducts. Let us go through aerobic respiration. During daytime, carbon dioxide produced by respiration is used for photosynthesis. Oxygen is released in large quantities than carbon dioxide. In this process, now oxygen is now released to the atmosphere. It's released to the atmosphere during daytime. The plants absorb the carbon dioxide to take so that the process of respirations can go on. But during the day, oxygen is released as a byproduct. At night, without sunlight, photosynthesis stops. Plants now respire. They release carbon dioxide into the surroundings. Now let us look at the impacts to the environment. Carbon dioxide contributes to the carbon cycle, supporting life processes in plants, animals, and microorganisms. Excess carbon dioxide can lower soil, water, pH. These are the factors that affect plants' health and ecosystems. So we have learned that during the daytime, carbon dioxide now is used for respiration, of which now oxygen becomes a byproduct. Oxygen is released to the atmosphere. During the night, now photosynthesis stops. The plants respire. They release carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. In conclusion, gaseous exchange is a fundamental process of photosynthesis, respiration, and regulation in plants. These plants play an important role in controlling the gaseous exchange and water loss. Plants release carbon dioxide during respiration, contributing to global carbon cycle. Thank you for this lesson. I think we shall meet in the next class. Thank you.